You can escape the mundane. Don't make life a habit, make life an adventure. Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Is A Mirage podcast. On this episode, I want you to ask yourself a question. What would life be like if you started to say yes to yourself? Yes to your goals, yes to your dreams, and yes to your potential. Now, I know there's a lot of people listening to this who are stuck in jobs that they hate, listening to people that they don't even like, going to meetings that are just pure shite, being evaluated on a thing that you don't even want to do and being told that you're not good at it. Imagine if you started to work towards something that you actually wanted to do, like creating yourself a side like project, just a side project, a side passion that makes you want to achieve greatness within yourself. I truly believe that we all have it. We all have the exponential potential. I think we can do whatever we put our minds to. But the problem is that we get sucked into life. We do the normal things. We get a car, we get a house, we get a family, we get a job, and we should be happy in our job. And then you just stay there, even if you don't like it. And you start to look forward to the weekend just so that you don't have to go to work. Not that you can do exciting things at the weekend, but just so that you don't have to be somewhere you don't want to be. And imagine if you started to turn that around. Imagine if you thought of work as a way of getting you to where you wanted to go. Whenever I first started getting into any of this work, that's what I looked at. Whenever I was working 80 hours in a bar, I hated the work, but I knew that if I kept working, it would earn me money. If I earned the money, I could do the training, I could become what I wanted to become. So I wanted to become a martial arts instructor at that stage. Then when I did that, I started to work towards becoming a coach, writing a book, and then becoming an executive coach. All of those stepping stones needed I needed finance to get me there. I needed to have security. The first time I did it wrong, I just left and I just went and hoped for the best. That made it much more difficult than I would advise you to do. If you start looking at your job now, whatever it is that you do, if you love doing it, then you don't need to listen anymore. This just keep doing it. Maybe have a passion project just for fun. But if you are someone that's doing something that you hate every day, you get up, you go to the job, whatever it is, or you sit in traffic, you maybe just have to walk to your work and you slowly walk there. I remember doing that. I would walk and every day would just take me longer and longer to get there until I started to think about where I wanted to go. So imagine if you start to say yes to your potential, like yes to your goals and dreams, thought about where you wanted to go and started to work towards that. Not give everything up because maybe you have the family and you have the car and you have the house that you need to support. But imagine if you thought, if I can make a plan, I can save enough money, if I can work enough hours, I can get to where I want to get to. And on the side of that, start to do all your spare time, be aimed towards getting you to where you wanted to be. So whatever your goal happens to be, like if you wanted to write a book, then learn about writing a book outside of your work. So study other authors, find people that have wrote books and talk to them, find out what they did, what their process was. That way you will start to move towards something. It makes your job easier because you know now there's a point. Rather than thinking that you're going to be stuck there forever and that's just your life and this is who you are, you start to see yourself working towards a goal that actually fills your life with joy or like really reaches your potential. For me, working with clients, there's nothing worse than seeing the potential in them and knowing they're not making the effort to get there. I want people to go in, work to get to a point that they know at the end of the day that that's as much as they could do. They've achieved as much as they could achieve. Because that's whenever you really have a fulfilled life, rather than just doing shit every day that you think you have to do or that you've no interest in doing, but it's just the norm for you now, or other people told you to do it. Get a job, you have a job, great. You should just keep your job and be happy with that. Imagine again if you could just work on the side and you don't even have to tell anyone that you have these passion projects. You can work on them on your own and get to the point where you can then get rid of the job that you don't like, the shackles that are holding you back. You can just move on from there. I know it works because I've done it for myself. I've done it with clients who were like going home and just drinking and smoking at night, just hating everything about their job and not wanting to wake up the next day to go and do it. And now they live a life where they feel more fulfilled. They're not drinking, they're not smoking, and they just are achieving more than they ever thought possible because they just started asking themselves, if they started to say yes to their dreams, then what would happen? One of the great side effects of saying yes to your own dream is you run out of time to say yes to everybody else. Sometimes we feel we don't have the time because we're helping other people, and those other people aren't helping you move towards a goal or helping you achieve anything for yourself. They're what I would call time vampires. They're just sucking the life out of you, the time out of you, for their benefit and for them to feel like they're moving forward. So if you were to start to say yes to yourself, to your dreams, if you want to become healthier, you start saying yes to going for walks when people want you to sit down and watch a Netflix or talk to them on the phone about how shit their life is or whatever. You just start going for walks. Start eating healthily. Like whenever I first started eating healthy, there wasn't really anyone in the house that was doing it, so I started to cook for myself. And because I still cooked for the family, I would cook 2 meals at once. I would cook the family meal and I would cook my own meal as well. And then over time, everybody just started to eat my meal as I cooked that, because it was just easier for them, and they seen how nice it looked and it smelled nice, and it was actually made them feel better whenever they took it. So if you start to look out for yourself, start to say yes to your potential, that will ripple out to the people around you. Like I've seen it time and time again with all the clients that I've worked with. They start to say to me, God, my family are starting to eat a bit more healthily, and I have a few friends that have asked to go for walks, and it starts to ripple out, and you start to create a circle that's more beneficial to where you want to go. But the real thing is to come back to the start, is if you want to achieve anything, if you're not content and happy where you are now, and you know there's something else out there that you would like to do, then start working at it on the side. Do the job that you have to do and keep doing that because it pays the bills, and you can start to make a plan to find out how much, like say if you find out how much money you would need to be able to get rid of that job and focus solely on what you wanted to do, then just get that goal, break it down, and then to start working towards it. I truly believe that we can do and be whatever we want in life. We just have to focus and work at it. And I'm by no means saying it's going to be easy, but it definitely will be worth it. So just try to work towards that. Try to work towards something that you want to do. Most people end up in just a habit life, where life becomes habit. You just get up, you have your coffee, you go to work, you do your whole thing at work. Like you could time it out, and it's exactly the same all the time. So life becomes habit. So rather than life being a habit, try to make it an adventure. Try to work towards something you want to achieve. And then when you achieve that, start working towards more things. So let me know what you feel from this. Well, if it resonates with you, if you have any plans to work on a side project or a side passion or whatever you want to call it. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know what it is that people are working towards. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's something that I'd be interested in and you could help me. Well, until then, I hope you have an amazing time, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again soon.